freaking ears. God, ears mess everything up if you don't understand them. We're going to go into placement just a little bit because then we're going to talk about cutting in a bit. But even if you look at a girl like this, they do a pretty good job on the mannequin of imagining she had a shaved head. She grew her hair out. Why would her hair be the reason is they're putting the exact same length in all over her head, right? So she ends up with some shorter pieces up top. It's layered because this length of hair up top is the same thing as that length of hair from here to where it comes out. But the head, there's a good 6 inches between the top of the head and the hairline down here. So there's about a 6-inch difference in the layer from here to here, right? It's about as big as the head, the shortest layer to the longest layer. And so same thing on the side of the head. Why is it longer in the back but shorter on the side? Well, that is because freaking ears. God, ears mess everything up if you don't understand them. So many people
drive you crazy.
Huh?
Ears. Every time we talk about hair cutting, the ears drive you crazy.
You know, it's not the ears that drive me crazy. It's the people that don't get hair cutting because of ears. They act like a client doesn't have ears. They cut hair the same in the back of the head that they do on the sides of the head. And they don't realize, like, dude, you've only got this much hair here compared to back here. Wow. At least twice, maybe 3 times as much, plus the width of the head, plus all of this top hair coming back here. And when you're talking about the side, you just have this little bit sometimes, depending on where the part is, you know. If it's part in the middle, equal, right? But if you start taking apart and moving it over here, well, you just wiped out so much thickness on the side between the part coming this way, some of the hair going that way, and the ears. Then you trim some bangs or you face frame. You just, all those things I just mentioned is wiping out this side, and you get this thinner side, not to mention 2 thin sides. So how do you rectify that? First, don't freaking cut it all off. But if you've got to do extensions to fix so many bad haircut jobs out there, good for you for doing extensions. That's how you become a profitable stylist. And so that's a, you know, understanding where the hair is coming from on the head. I mean, just looking at the real estate from here to here, it should speak so much to people about that. But then when you go from that to this, oh, let me not skip. We got 2 more here. When you go from that, and like you said, it's the mistakes and the experience through the years, right? So I have put extensions in for so many years, just straight lines around the head, you know, in the very beginning, and then making it look natural here. And somehow I just accidentally, I mean, I know how I got into it, but it's a long story, so I'm going to skip it for now. But got into the realizing that the very top row and the very bottom row mattered for a lot of reasons. I mean, I needed to get close to the hairline so when they picked their hair up, you didn't have all these short hairs hanging underneath showing when you look at somebody right here, right? Because when you look at somebody here and the shoulders and you see the short hair in here, well, the further away from the hairline you are, the more short hair you would see inside here. So I would try to get close to the hairline, and then as I followed the hairline, I would end up with a natural curve of the head. And so that would make my extensions fall shorter here and longer here. So I naturally got, so this was one of the solves of the haircut already. It's already following the natural hairline. So the hair follows a shorter to longer look in the back. And then on top, what we notice is the further away from the part I put hair, the bigger that line of demarcation or that weight line or that solid bulk of hair over the top of the extensions would be. So the challenge started to be, how close to the part can I get without seeing the hair extensions?
It's so interesting that you're saying that, and it's so important that you're bringing that up as well. Everybody is so worried about placing the extensions as low as possible to fill in as much length as possible. And then they don't realize how much of that length they're cutting off afterwards when they're trying to style and blend it. You know, the higher up you place the extensions, the more blending of the layering and actually the less cutting you're going to end up having to do at the end, because it's going to naturally stagger and layer itself. It's going to naturally start blending itself you are not going to have to be doing as much work because the bottom isn't going to be as what's the word? Thick. You're going to have naturally tapered ends. You're not going to have the bulkiness at the bottom.
And that's one of the reasons for putting hair extensions in multiple places on the head. And this is not going to work as well for a weft, right? That's a little sharp for a weft. That's for individual strands, O-tips, K-tips, I-tips, all of the individual small strands. But even a weft should drift down a little bit. And I've got that on a mannequin also over there. But, you know, it's funny because I agree with what you're saying, but I can see why some people would disagree logically. Because when you put hair in down here, you've got a certain length, right?
Sure.
But when I put hair in further up, you know, so if I take hair from here and go further up, it does shorten it. It does shorten it down here.
It does.
So that's what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to put it low so they get more length.
I get it. I get it, but I do. I totally get it. But if you have to go in afterwards, so you got the length down here, but you have to go in afterwards and you have to start, you know, what is it? Slide cutting or razoring in or thinning out, texturizing, twisting, whatever you need to do, then those layers gradually are getting shorter regardless anyways. So if you just start tapering it down to begin with from the beginning, I'm actually saving you more density and more weight at the bottom, you know, because you're having to cut less naturally. You're having to not have to force yourself to go cut in. The other thing that's happening too, which I think is a little bit of an oversight, how many times in a class when we're teaching placement and everybody tries to go in low and they're trying to load in low, and then I tell them, do the ponytail, pull all the hair into a ponytail. Feel how thick it feels at the bottom. Feel how thin it feels at the crown. Now start walking that ponytail down and look at how like a horse's tail you are at the scalp. And then all of a sudden you get to nothingness towards the end. You know, it's just a natural disconnect. So what's the answer? Oh, then you got to put in more hair. Well, then that just starts bulking everything up even more. You're just feeding. Again, it's that cycle. It's that vicious cycle. You keep.
So, yep. So look,
Yeah.
I go to the next step. I've got the bottom row, the top row, and I'm going as close to the part as I can, realizing there's a crown, and I got to kind of round around the crown because it might split open here. So there might be a little calic or something in these areas. So I get away from it. And then I can go to a simple pattern. And I call this a 1, 2, 3. I did the top row, bottom row, but then on a side part, the top row and the bottom row are so close together, just 5 or 6 strands in between there is probably enough. And now I can simplify, just do some straight lines, because this is going to clean up my edges. That's what's going to make it look natural. And now I'm just kind of filling in between. It's better that I put my hair extensions close together next to each other so that it doesn't look like people of Walmart. I want it to look close together and put my spaces between the rows instead of between the strands. And you know what? That is where tape-ins, as much as I don't like tape-ins, that's what helped a lot of uneducated hair extensionists or hairdressers that just popped into extensions. Like, I'm just going to buy some tape-ins at the local beauty supply or Amazon and give it a try. Wow, it looks pretty good. Because for the most part, and that's why wefts are doing so well right now. So many hairdressers have done such a terrible job on not only Britney Spears and a few other celebrities really raise the I don't know, I guess the awareness about how good or bad extensions can be. Britney had a lot of really good extension jobs that nobody talked about. And then she gets 1 or 2 bad jobs or has a bad experience. And it's so publicized. People are like, see, extensions are terrible. But you don't know how many great sets and how many people wear extensions that you don't know about. It's kind of like hair replacement. That man's got a rug. I knew I could tell them all. No, you didn't see the other 9 in the same room that you're in. Anyway, it's that bottom row that starts to make it look really good, and top row. And then in between, most of the time, just 1 here It's a little thicker on this side. So although we could fit 4 or 5, proportionately, a little more looks good, but too much would look bad. So I just go with 1 more row by doing 2. And then usually I'm counting how much hair I have left. And I have counted out all of this on the head. It's 150 strands because that's my average individual strand full head. You can go lower, you can go higher, but 3 is a lot back here, but it's a full, really filling it in. That's with a big thick head of hair. And you can see how it all gets pulled together. If you just did straight rows, you could see where you might be thin right through this area. But because we have a top row and a bottom row, it kind of connects, and maybe it'll be a little thinner down in this area, but you don't really notice it because this hair and this hair is going to kind of blend together down here. But it's that solid line at the top and the bottom that solves so many things you'll never think about.